Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Bertrude and today we're using another one of my level 200 builds. It's a big golden warrior tank. Let's take a look at it. So we're level 200, we've got 65 vigour, 30 strength, 31 intelligence and 65 faith. In our flask we're using the holy tier to boost our holy attacks and the opaline hard tier for the damage negation. And here's a quick look at the armour and talismans we're using on this build. We've got a selection of weapons on the build, including the Golden Order Greatsword, the Beast Claw Great Hammer, Marika's Hammer, the Erdtree Great Shield, which will be on the build at all times. We also have the Cypher Patter, and then the seal on the build that we're using is the Golden Order Seal. We've then got the triple Rings of Light, Radagon's Rings of Light, Wrath of Gold, and then finally our buff, the Golden Vow. And that's the build guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content, but it's time for you lot to sit back, relax, get your feet up and enjoy the video. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an absolutely awesome day. So we're on another one of my level 200 builds, the Golden Warrior, big tanky build. This one's really quite strong. This one really does feel like it belongs up at level 200 because it's got a pretty wild stat investment. We need a lot of endurance because one of the key things on this build that I wanted to achieve was to be able to carry the Erdtree Great Shield at all times in our left hand if we ever need it. I wanted to have that ready and waiting for any mages that we come across that are trying to spam us with spells. I just wanted to be able to instantly whip that Erdtree Great Shield out and fire those projectiles back at them. So we needed a lot of endurance on this build, not to mention our really good, decent armour that's got some good defences and poise on this build. Remember, up at level 200 you really do need some good defences or you're just going to get absolutely shredded. But then looking at our spells that we're using, the incantations as well, they're a bit crazy in terms of needing intelligence and faith, so it's kind of a bit of a wild stat spread on this one, and in order for this build to be really strong it really did feel like it needed to be up at level 200. Looking back at this build, I think initially way back when, like going back a long while, I think it started at about level 125, and then as I started to adapt the build and change it, I knew that it was, you know, it was a high level build. It was one of those builds that really did feel like it belonged at level 200. Do you know what I mean? It felt like it weren't just a build that was at level 200 because, you know, I was enjoying playing at level 200 or I just wanted a level 200 build. It really did feel at home at level 200 with the stat investments needed. But you'll see it's a really strong build as the invasions go on. It's really has, you know, it's got an answer for everything. It's the kind of build that has an answer for everything, whatever the situation is. We've got our really strong spells that we're using. We've got some really close range spells that can do a lot of damage. As you can see there, the Wrath of Gold nearly just one-shot that summon. Follow that up with triple Rings of Light, which can be a really good harassment tool. They've got decent range on it. It's got a good bit of range on the triple Rings of Light. It's quite deceptive how far those actually go. And then obviously we've got another big impact spell there, the Radagon's Rings of Light. I really wanted to use these spells on the build. I hadn't actually used them on the build up until this point when I made this one. So I knew that, you know, I needed to get those stats to a place where I was putting out some good damage. So as I said, you know, level 200, it just feels perfect up here at this level. Putting out some good damage, gank spank machine. Really can look after itself, this build. It's really one of my stronger builds, this one, and it's a really good playstyle actually as well. Like I say, it's not something that I always have the chance to use. It really does depend on the situation, but having the Erdtree Great Shield in our left hand in our second weapon slot is super handy. I mean, any mages that we come across, it's just like having a field day with that shield. But as I said, it's kind of luck of the draw. Sometimes you invade a lot of mages, sometimes you don't invade quite as many and you don't get to use the shield as often, but I wanted to make sure that it's always there available in my offhand in the second weapon slot just for when I need it. And as you can see here, we've got the Cypher Patters in the second weapon slot in our right hand. These don't weigh anything, so on a build that has high faith investment, they're just a really good weapon to have in the second weapon slot. It's good to have that kind of quick option to swap to on the fly if you want to chase someone down and get some good damage to finish someone off. And they've also got that really good Ash of War, that kind of lunging Ash of War where you kind of lunge forward and do some good, you know, do a good bit of damage. So they're just a really good tool to have. Like I said, they don't weigh anything, so you may as well just stick them on the build. Now then, let's just take a look at this invasion. This is a really good one. It starts off as a duo, but they soon get a blue in, so it soon turns into a 3-on-1. And this invasion really does demonstrate how strong this build can be. We kind of use all of our kit in this one, rotate our spells and our Ash of War and our weapon and get some good damage out really well. It kind of does show the benefits of having this kit in the rotation that we have it. You can see there we're using the Rings of Light, getting some good damage from behind the pillars, and we managed to take out the summon. So that's one down and it's now a 2-on-1. But it's not easy, you know, we've still got a lot to deal with this blue spamming the Dragon Breath in. But I know that I've got a good weapon here, the Golden Order Greatsword, absolutely awesome Greatsword. I actually can't believe we don't see more of this in PvP. This sword is so underrated, it's ridiculous. It's an absolute joke how good this sword is. The Ash of War on it, honestly, I'd probably say the Ash of War on this weapon is one of the best Ashes of War on any weapon. The hyper armor on it is insane. Once you actually launch that Ash of War and the animation starts up, the hyper armor is just on another level. It does some massive damage on the first like explosion on the Ash of War, and then you obviously get that follow-up projectile, which also does another big chunk of damage. So if you don't kill them on the first little mini explosion, the follow-up projectile, if that doesn't kill them, well, they're going to be left with not very much health afterwards. You know what I mean? If they survive the full Ash of War, you know they're going to be in a position where you're just going to have to put a little bit of pressure on them, and you should get the kill. If you land the Ash of War, it should be game over. It's that good. Like I said, I just can't believe we don't see more people using it. We've also got Marika's Hammer on the build. It's a weapon that I've never really used much before, but I think it's good to have as a weapon option on this build. It just fits it perfectly, fits the look of the build, fits the theme. It's putting out the same kind of damage, you know, it just does fit really well on the build. The Ash of War on it, oh there we go, the Erdtree Great Shield. Look at the damage on the reflection there. I think that was the Sword of Night and Flame, so don't forget you can actually use that Erdtree Great Shield with a lot of things that you may not know that you can use it for. The Ash of War and the Sword of Night and Flame being one of them. But as I said, yeah, the Marika's Hammer, the Ash of War on it is fantastic. Everyone knows that big kind of float in the air and then I'm going to slam down onto your head, the Gold Breaker. This right here, get absolutely squashed, Mr. Summon. Get absolutely squidodgled. And now look at this horse, just spamming me with a Death Ritual Spear. Look at this is a nightmare trying to get out of this mess. But I've pushed through, and now I'm putting a bit of pressure on him, and you can see the hammer's doing decent damage on its own, you know, it does some good damage. You don't just have to rely on the Ash of War, it's more than just an Ash of War machine. Put a good bit of pressure on the horse there, and 2-on-1, good invasion. Bit of patience needed, waiting for our right opportunities to strike, but again, you know, just showing how strong this kit really is. Good invasion, good win. I'll take that win against those two. That was a difficult one, but we got the win, so that's all that counts. Now you've got to take your hat off to this horse. I invaded this guy and he gives me the bow like he's ready just for a one-on-one. But then I realised that he's got his blue rings on as blues started coming in as well. So I'm expecting him to start ganking me with the blues, which is fine, you know, I'd have been absolutely fine with that. But as you can see in the background, the horse just takes a knee, just has a little sit down and just watches the show. He just wants to see an invader destroy this blue, which is absolutely fine by me every day of the week. Any excuse to kill a blue is an excuse that I'm going to indulge in, do you know what I mean? Any excuse, guys, I can't stand them. Any opportunity to kill a blue for me is an opportunity well taken. So this host, absolutely no problems with this whatsoever. If he just wants to sit back and let the blues come in, feed me the blues, that's absolutely fine. Bit of a weird connection with this blue though, like I was fully expecting him to just die after that the triple Rings of Light, sorry. I really thought those were connected with him, but obviously not. Like I said, there's a bit of weird connection going on with this guy, but you know, I still feel like it's under control. And as you can see there, a little bit of delay on the hammer, the Regal Beast Claw, the Ash of War and that great hammer, but we managed to take him out easy peasy with the lag and all. So now I was thinking, is the host ready? Does he want to fight now? But then another hunter comes in, so I get the chance to kill two blues. So it's like best day of the week for me. Bring it on, I'm going to absolutely destroy this blue, and then maybe me and the horse will have a fight. And just to make things even better, he was a white mask wearing, jellyfish shield using, rivers of blood spamming Schmeagle. So take my testicles, just take my testicles, taste them. They're extra sweaty, you know, because I've got this big heavy armour on. And you're a blue wearing the white mask, spamming rivers of blood, using a jellyfish shield, so I've got them even more sweaty just for you. Taste them, I hope they taste good, and now me and the host are having a nice little one-on-one fight, like a couple of gentlemen, just to finish this invasion off. Take my hat off to this host. This was a really fun invasion. Like I said, any opportunity to kill a few blues before I have the fight with a host is just a really good invasion in my books. And as everyone is well aware, guys, we've just had the trailer for the DLC. So I'm thinking the buzz around the game at the minute is going to be, you know, on an extra high note, which is absolutely brilliant for the game. I hope the hype around the trailer is going to bring a lot of players back, getting ready for the DLC, or bring a lot of new players in. It's just perfect. I'm sure when the DLC drops, you know, obviously there's going to be an influx of new players. You know, it's just obvious, isn't it? It's a new DLC, everyone's excited, everyone's going to come back, everyone's going to join up, start playing the game. It's just amazing, it's a beautiful thing. But I'm thinking there's going to be a bit of an increase in player count currently as well because of the hype around the DLC. And it's just awesome, guys. It's just great for the game. It feels so good to have this hype around Elden Ring again. Just bring it on. I mean, I've watched the trailer so many times since it was released. I can't wait. There's so much stuff, like there's so much new armour. I mean, looking at the armour on this build, the armour is just top tier. It looks absolutely awesome. We look like some massive big tank guy, like some big warrior knight. We just look absolutely epic, and we look like a force to be reckoned with, to be fair. But looking at the armours in the trailer as well, there's going to be some absolutely awesome armours. It's going to free up some amazing fashion choices. It's going to give us loads of new weapons, which is obviously going to lead to loads of new builds. It's going to bring some additions to some of my builds that I already have as well. The options are going to be endless. You know, I'm not sure what level I'm going to go in at on the DLC first. I mean, obviously it's looking like it's going to be accessed through Morg's Arena. So it's like, what level do you kill Morg at? You know, I presume that's what their intentions are. Whichever level you've killed Morg at is which level you should go and approach the DLC at. So what we're thinking, like meta level, it's quite an endgame area, isn't it? The Morg Arena, it's quite an endgame boss. So, you know, I'm going to have to look at my builds and have a think which build I want to take into the DLC. But, you know, it's not a problem that. It's a very good dilemma to have, isn't it? You know, I just can't wait. I'm so excited. Bring it on. I'm just going to be invading up until then, making a couple of new builds. I've got some new builds in mind. Nice kill on the horse there. That was a good invasion against these two. Got some really good use out of our kit there and the Maracas hammer. But yeah, as I was saying, I've literally just made a new build last night. So that's there's going to be a video coming with a brand new build very soon. And then I also have a couple of other new builds in mind that I do want to make with some kit that I've not yet used on a build so far throughout Elden Ring's lifespan. So there's still some stuff I need to use, some stuff I want to try. But, you know, like I said, get ready for some new builds when the DLC comes out, baby. Bring it on. Now watch this invasion. This summon here has obviously been watching someone's troll video, and he thinks, oh, I can jump over here and the invader's just going to fall into that pit. Not me, my friends. What do you take me for? Some kind of little Schmeagle? That's not me. You need to up your game, son, if you think I'm going to fall for that. Anyway, we just squidodgled the summon there, and he got the wiggle of justice and the teabag of destiny because he thought I was going to fall for such a stupid trick. And now the horse has gone on a little run, panicking away because he doesn't want to fight me one-on-one. And I'm just chasing him down, and it's pretty much a done deal at this point. He's got me on him, he's got the bats on him, and there we go. Take him out. Wiggle of justice for you as well. Teabag of destiny. Taste my testicles for employing such an awful strategy as that. Let me tell you, boys, I'm an Elden Ring veteran and I know all the tricks, and I ain't going to fall for that one. Now this was a good invasion. Watch this. Now I weren't sure if I could use the Erdtree Great Shield on these skulls that are chasing us down, the old skull emojis here. But I thought I'd give it a try. I'd never actually tried it before, and look at that, turns out you can repel them, and we get a good kill on the summon nice and early. Like I said, you can use the Erdtree Great Shield for a hell of a lot more things than you probably realise you can. Some good damage there again on the summon, using the repel on the old skeleton emojis. I'm not sure if you can use it on the Fire Ash of War on the Sword of Night and Flame. I know for a fact you can use it on the magic attack. We actually used it earlier on in the video, but I'm not sure if it works on the fire one. I've not had a chance to try it yet. We get some good damage there with the Regal Beast Claw and the Great Hammer. Another really good weapon. Works really well on this build as well. It kind of does some good damage with our high faith investment. Really good Great Hammer. Super cool weapon. I love Great Hammers and Great Axes. I've said this before on the videos, but I think the Great Hammers and Great Axes are two of my favourite weapon classes. Unfortunately, we don't survive that invasion, but I wanted to include it because I thought it was really cool showing the reflection of the skull emojis, and yeah, it was still a good invasion. Unlucky to die at the end there, but you could see the summon actually did die as well at the end, so we managed to take 2 summons out. The host gets away with his life, but as I said, good invasion. GG's guys, I'm happy to include that one when it's a good fight. Like I said, I don't mind showing my losses if it's a good fight, and that one was definitely a good fight, so it's just GG's all round. This was a nice little one-on-one against this other invader. The host up there, you can see he's just sitting on the ledge. He's happy to sit back and just watch this fight between me and this other invader. This is absolutely fine, you know, if you both agree to a nice little one-on-one. It's always good testing your mettle against a fellow red, as long as you both agree to it and it's not a red who comes in and blindsides you, the absolute worst kind of player. But when it's like this and you both agree to a one-on-one, it's always fun, and you can often go up against some interesting builds, a lot like this guy has. You can see he's using a Urumi whip. I think that's how you pronounce it, the Urumi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that whip is. It's the old whip that turns into a big pointy straight sword, isn't it? And he's got the old lightning ram Ash of War on it, so it turned out to be a good one-on-one this. And it's a bit of an interesting ending as well. We both end up taking the loss. It's a draw. But, you know, another good invasion, so GG's. Now, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but there's a load of roadworks literally just kicked off outside my house. There's a big power drill going. There's all kinds of noise outside the window, so I don't know if you can hear that on the recording. But it's a good time to end the video. This is the last invasion. Good timing with the roadworks kicking off outside, but these two just need to level the vigour. This is absolutely disgraceful, guys. Keep an eye on this invasion. This is level 200, and look at the state of the vigour on these two. What an absolute shambles. Anyway, guys, look after yourselves, look after each other. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Take it easy, guys. I'll let this invasion play out in the background, but I'll see you all in the next video.